This conversation, I'd like to talk about natural wisdom because these days we hear a lot about artificial intelligence. But my argument in this conversation is that we need artificial intelligence not because we need it, but it's because we don't pay attention to, we don't appreciate our natural wisdom. So, what is natural wisdom? Natural wisdom is the knowledge of what is good for us and the courage to do what is good for us. That's what natural wisdom is. So everyone has natural wisdom. We all know what is good for us, but more often than not, we don't have the courage to act based on what we know. So, a very simple example, we know that if you want to be happy in life, you've got to do something that you love to do. And yet, most people, for a number of reasons, would negate their natural passion, their natural interests, and they will choose a career where they think that they have a good chance of getting a job or getting a well paid job. But that's not natural wisdom. That's uh, cultural norm. We look at other people, everybody graduates, everybody gets a job, everybody buys a house, and we just follow the herd. We're not following our own natural wisdom.
That's an interesting perspective. I agree that often societal pressures and norms can overshadow our own instincts and desires. Natural wisdom, as you describe it, seems to be about tuning into our innate understanding and having the courage to act on it despite external influences. It's about aligning our actions with our true values and passions rather than conforming to what we think is expected of us. What do you think are some practical steps people can take to reconnect with and follow their natural wisdom?
Well, one thing they could do is perform the following thought experiment. Imagine that you were invisible to the world, to your family, to your friends. Okay, you're totally invisible, like the invisible man. What would you do with your life? Would you really show up at the office 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and just do the work? No. You would live life the way that you want to live. You would need to have food, of course. So you go out and you get the food. You need shelter, you need clothing. You would buy that stuff. And of course, to buy that stuff, to survive, to pay the bills, you need to do some work. You need to be useful to other people. But to be useful to other people, you would do something that pays enough to cover your living expenses, and you would choose work that you love to do. That's what we all aspired to do when we were kids. And somewhere along the way, we lost that natural wisdom. We chose normality over naturalness. We become unnatural. And that's why so many people get sick, they get stressed when they're at work because it's not natural for us to spend the better part of every day, 5 days a week, trapped within the four walls of a building. It's just not natural. And therefore, we look to artificial intelligence today, but AI is not going to solve your problem because you neglect to listen to your own nature. Seneca said centuries ago, the happy life, the good life, is one that is lived according to its own nature, meaning that you're going to be happy in life, you're going to be prosperous if you do that for which you were wired to do. You're not wired to be an accountant. You're not wired to be a manager of other people. You're not wired to be an investor who's just tracking numbers, stock market, Bitcoin, whatever, to increase that number in your bank account or your brokerage account. That's not natural. We've been trained, conditioned culturally to believe that that is what is important, but money is not important. Having a job, status symbols is not important. When people lie on their deathbed before they transition, they look back at their lives, and I guarantee you, they're not going to regret the work, the money, the wealth, the status. They're going to really regret the time that they didn't spend doing what they love to do. They didn't spend that time with family and friends. That's what they will regret. And that's what I call natural wisdom. So I think that instead of relying on AI to solve our problems, we should solve the main problem, which is how am I going to spend my life? And that problem can be solved very easily if you listen to your nature, if you listen to your natural wisdom.
That's a powerful thought experiment. It really emphasizes the importance of introspection and aligning our lives with our true desires and values. When you strip away societal expectations and think about what truly makes you happy, it becomes clearer what changes might need to be made. To take it a step further, what do you think are some barriers that prevent people from following their natural wisdom? And how can they overcome these barriers?
Here's another thought experiment. Imagine that ChatGPT was not invented. Imagine, in fact, that AI was not invented. How would you live your life? You would still have computers, right? You would still have the main problem of deciding how you're going to spend your time. 9 to 5, that's the best time that you have every day. That's prime time. Would you spend 9 to 5, 8 hours a day working for strangers to enrich somebody else? Or would you spend it at home with your family and friends or doing whatever favorite activities you happen to love? You see, nowadays everyone talks about AI, NVIDIA, you know, AGI, ASI, but that's not the problem. The problem is human beings not being clear about what they really want. Because I guarantee you that whatever it is that you want in life, you do not need AI to get it. You need courage. In fact, I wish that there was something called artificial courage, just a device that helps to give you a little bit of courage to help you get started. And just a little bit of courage. Because once you start doing what you love to do and you try to do it in a way that is of service to other people, you're not going to have to work a day in your life because you enjoy doing it and you're being useful to other people. So they're going to support you because you're being useful to them or you're being entertaining or inspirational for them. But people don't have that clarity, and that's because the system, the institutions, the school, the colleges, the universities, the teachers, including the parents, are misleading young people, are telling them, oh, you should get a job and then you should get a mortgage, buy a house, and all the stuff that you're going to buy and that you don't need. So imagine you're wasting 40 years of your life to make money to buy things that you don't need and you don't even want those things. That's because we lack natural wisdom. We lack natural wisdom. We don't have the minimum courage to live according to our values, our beliefs, our desires. We have given up on ourselves, and now we expect AI to save us. It cannot save you. The only thing that can save you and me is a bit of courage that we can summon together so that we can pursue what we believe we were born to do, our purpose, our passion, our mission in life. And all of those have nothing to do with AI.
You're right. The focus on AI can sometimes distract us from addressing the core issue, understanding and pursuing what truly matters to us. The idea of artificial courage is intriguing because, indeed, taking the first step toward living authentically often requires bravery. We are conditioned to seek security and approval from societal structures, which can stifle our natural wisdom. Overcoming this conditioning involves self awareness and a willingness to face fears and uncertainties. Practically, how do you think people can start cultivating this courage and reconnecting with their natural wisdom in a world that heavily emphasizes external validation and technological solutions?
So here's a very glaring example of a total lack of natural wisdom. Elon Musk. Everybody admires him. Most people admire him. I respect him. But there's one point where he is going in the wrong direction. He says that there's going to be about 2 Optimus robots for every person on this planet. And I'm thinking, why? I don't even need a robot. I don't need a robot. And elders, people who are, let's say, over 70, 80, they need other human beings to take care of them. That's what we were born to do. You know, the human journey is an emotional journey. When you give up on taking care of your, aging parents and you just rent a robot to do it for you, you've lost it. You've lost it. You don't have any soul, any heart in your life anymore. You totally lost it. And so I don't agree with this idea that Elon Musk has that we all need to have two robots or even one robot. I don't need a robot. I don't need a Tesla car. I don't need an AI to be happy. The only thing I need to be happy in this life is to do whatever makes me feel alive, to do whatever makes me feel joy, and to be of service to others. And I do not need AI for that. I do not need robots for that. I don't need electric cars for that. Although, of course, it's great. Electric cars are better than the traditional cars. But those are not things that you and I need. We need to have the courage to live according to our values. We need to become authentic. We need to become more natural because technology is really threatening mankind and is making us more and more unnatural. You know, they talk about AI being like the perfect doctor. Well, you know, you don't need to have a doctor, an AI doctor, if you had the wisdom, if you listen to your body and you don't eat more than you have to, you exercise every day and you don't stress yourself, you don't put chemicals like alcohol or drugs or, you know, toxic nutrients, toxic stuff into your body. You just have to live the good life. The people who lived to be older than 100 and they're still healthy, the people who have been successful and happy throughout human history, there was no AI for them. There was no robots. There was no electric cars. So we have to conclude that I think that we are going in the wrong direction. And I think it's because the news media is sensationalizing AI news, tech news, and we think that we depend on technology. We think that we need technology in order to be happy. We need AI in order to be productive. We need electric cars. We need robots. We don't need any of that. I'm not against all of that. I'm just saying that those are secondary pursuits. Those are nice to have. They're not must have. The one thing that human beings must have is the courage to live according to their values, the courage to explore and discover their true purpose. Pablo Picasso said, the purpose of life is to discover your talent. The meaning of life is to give it away. Give it away, share it with other people.
Your point is compelling. It underscores the importance of human connection, authenticity, and living in alignment with one's values. The emphasis on technological advancements often overshadows the essential aspects of being human, our relationships, passions, and purpose. Elon Musk's vision, like many technological forecasts, aims to solve practical problems, but may overlook the emotional and spiritual needs that define our humanity. The examples you provided highlight the necessity of maintaining a balance between leveraging technology and staying true to our natural wisdom. To cultivate this balance, individuals can 1. Reflect regularly on their true desires and values. 2. Prioritize human connections and emotional well being. 3. Engage in activities that bring joy and fulfillment. 4. Practice self care and listen to their bodies. 5. Seek purpose through service and contribution to others. By doing so, people can ensure that while technology serves its role in enhancing convenience and efficiency, it does not replace the fundamental human experiences that make life meaningful. How do you think society can shift its focus from technological dependency to fostering natural wisdom on a broader scale?